What's up, everybody? Phil here. I am sitting to you on this beautiful March 20th morning, 2 hours before my eldest daughter's birthday party. She turns 10. Happy birthday, Dahlia. Drinking me a Tupps National Standard Blonde Ale at noon because I can, because I'm an adult. Shout out to Tupps, McKinney, Texas. Yeah. So, this is a discussion, train of thought video, have you will. And I figured there's no better time right now to make it. A lot of us have come into a lot of extra money thanks to the government. And I've heard a couple of guys talking about they want to buy guitars or amps. I'm not going to get into the amp debacle because, I mean, that's like five fucking videos right there. Fuck that. But I will go into the guitars. And when it comes to guitars, one guitar that everybody at least wants to own at some point, it's a Gibson Les Paul. Your boy here has acquired one. I've bought a Gibson and an Epiphone Les Paul, both from 2020. One I did purchase at Guitar Center. I'll start with that one. I go into Guitar Center. I wanted to grab both models of the baseline Fender Tone Master amps, the Deluxe and the Twin. Guitar Center had them both on sale for $149 off. So the Deluxe was only, that would make it what, $6.99? Something super cheap, maybe $7.49. I think my math's really bad. And then yeah, and that's right, $7.49. And the Twin was $8.49 because they're $100 each or difference. So yeah, I was gonna go buy both. Go up to the nice gentleman sitting there at his little podium. Excuse me, sir, I'd like to buy two motherfucking amps. Will you go check in the back for me? Yes, sir, motherfucker, I will go check in the back for you. He goes in the back. Before he goes in the back, though, I see hanging on the wall this words not being able to. Okay, straps in these stands suck. All right. 2020 Gibson Les Paul traditional. And yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a Les Paul, and as soon as I sat down and felt it in my hand, I just knew this was. It just felt so good, man. Like, man, words. And just like everyone is the story, the fable. Oh man, well, you gotta get your Les Paul. When you find the right one, it just fits. Yeah, they were right. All those crazy, kooky guys that claim that. Yeah, as soon as I felt this thing and smelled the marshmallows, I knew I had to bring this home. I also picked up what I'm going to be using in this video is that Origin 50 head in the back. So that too. Anyways, yeah, I need to get up. So I'm going to play it through the Origin 50, and I'm running. Hopefully you see it. It is a Tone Master, or not Tone Master. I'm stupid. It is a Poison Noises Gluttonous Fuzz. Yeah, the glut. Running through this, I got it on the 10-watt setting because anything louder will kill my neighbors. And I'm going to play some Thin Lizzy riffs and some Kiss riffs and one of my old original licks me and a buddy wrote years ago. Shout out to Dave Betts. Love you, man. Motherfucker. All right, getting up. Oh, well, that ain't a good thing to do to your LP. Oh, fuck. I Kind of fucked that up a little bit. All right. And there. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Start that again. I ran into the wall and played the wrong note. That happened. You know what? Shout out to Ronnie James Dio. Yeah, all right. So now we're gonna go with the epi. We're gonna epi it out. Epic. What is it? What is it? What do you mean I don't believe in Rice Krispies? I eat breakfast when I need to. All right, here we go. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's fun. All right. All right, so there we are. Shout out to Poison Noises, the Gluttonous Fuzz. He's got them on this reverb for $50. You gotta go get them. You gotta go get you a Gluttonous Fuzz. I can do a whole different video on the glut. I'm out of breath. You can probably tell. All right. That is not good. So, anyways. Gibson versus Epiphone. Age-old testament. What is it, you know? Well, let me grab the Epi. You saw them both. You saw them both up close in the camera. No, maybe you didn't. Maybe I didn't do this. I'm going to do this. Here you go. 2020 Epiphone Les Paul Classic. Worn. Hadn't do anything to this. Well, I didn't do anything to this. I did buy this at Tone Shop Guitars in Addison, Texas. Shout out to Tone Shop Guitars. By the way, if you see the image, if this video worked, that is the Gluttonous Fuzz before I keep going forward. Again, Poison Noises, get you one. Get you the Crook, their flagship right now. Go get a Crook. Hurry up. I will have, I think, 3 more, maybe even 4 of their pedals coming to me, and I will demo all 4. And I will do a video of that. So be ready for that. Get my breath here. All right. So, Tone Shop Guitars, I walk in. I want an Epiphone to back up my Gibsy. That's what I'm calling it. It's a Gibsy. Not a Gibby. It's a Gibsy. Not a Gibson. Gibsy. I go in and I want backup for the Gibson. And I play every model they had. They had the 50s, Les Paul Standard 50s, Les Paul Standard 60s. They had Prophecies with the Fishmans. I didn't play too many of those because I knew that was $8.99. No, not for this guy. I didn't really need a metal guitar. No. What else? So Les Paul Standard, Les Paul Classic, Standard 50s, Standard 60s. The Muse, which I'll get to that line later on. And I'm missing one, I think. Oh, yeah, the classic horn, the one I'm holding. Yeah. So, and I think I'm pretty sure they had the modern Les Paul Modern. Maybe not there. I did play Les Paul Modern. I think that was a Guitar Center. Yes. Guitar Center Plano. Played the Les Paul Modern. Anyways, I played through the whole line. I knew mentally I was looking at the Warren because I wanted 2 reasons why I bought this. All right. I wanted a Epiphone that came close to matching my Gibson. I wanted it to be as close as it could. And this is as close as they make. It's basically the Epiphone of that. That has 490 R&T. This has Alnico Classic 2 Pro Buckers. Or Classic 2 Pros, not Pro Buckers. Now, They are similar. That's why they sound really similar. Both are Alnico 2 magnets. They are. Yeah, both have essentially that's more of a satin. It is shinier than this nitro finish, and this is just a straight up. I don't know. I'm sure it's a very very thin poly coat. Maybe it's not even a coat of anything. Maybe it's just like a protective, you know, cooking oil. It's Pam cooking oil sprayed on this to protect it. That's what it is. No, but you know this satin. It's shiny, but it's not as shiny as that. I guess if you're looking at store paint, that would be more eggshell, and this would be legit satin. But either way, this is as close as you're going to get to that in the Epiphone line, at least spec to spec. Now, there are, in some ways, improvements on this, believe it or not. Well, improvement may be subjective to some, but I do prefer the straight up Grovers on the back of this. This thing's intonation, and it pains me to say it, it's better than that. That thing has the Les Paul curse. It's got the classic Kluson styles. I do think those are made by Grover, though. If I am correct, ones that say Gibson Deluxe were actually made by Grover, but they are Kluson style. They work. The turns feel tight, but it's the Les Paul curse. The D and G string, they come out of tune. And it does it on this too, to a point, not nearly as bad as it does on that. I don't know. Don't know why. Can't honestly give you an answer to that, but whatever. What I can tell you though is they're both fantastic guitars. And I'm not trying to be political and blow smoke up your ass. So I brought this home. I didn't even plug it in at the shop. I don't normally do that. I'm in a point where I don't need to hear how they sound because 9 times out of 10, any guitar made in the past 6 years has good pickups if you pay more than $300 for it. I mean, the Gretsch Streamliner Jets are $299, and those goddamn what do they call them? They're not called Filtertron. They're called something else. They put them in all their Streamliners, even the $500-$600 ones. This is a $300 guitar that can go up against any of these sound-wise. So I don't need to plug them in. I know it's going to sound good. That being said, Gibson, this is just, I'm going to sum up the thought. The thought is this. For years I've been shitting on Gibson. I never really found a reason to make the dive into an LP because everyone I've picked up at a store has never felt that good to me. On the Epiphone side of things, I have played Epiphones that I like, but there's something about the ergonomic design of a Les Paul, this is just my opinion, with the weight and everything thrown in, and when you add a really thick, nasty poly finish to it, it just feels off. Because not only is you're already at a discomfort level that's out of the norm for an electric guitar because of the heavy mahogany set neck just monstrosity that Les Pauls are, you're throwing in like the poly finish and you're fighting against this sticky goo on your neck and body. It sticks to, you don't play with a shirt on, it'll stick to your tummy, and nobody likes that. I don't like it. I don't think anybody likes that. So what they did over the QC has gotten bad, and Gibson was just doing things that didn't make sense. Like, you have a design flaw in your headstock. Everybody knows that. Everybody's pointed it out. It's not a killer issue, but it is annoying. Pay $2,000 or even $1,200 for a guitar, and for not to be completely tuning stable is annoying as shit. So rather than do anything to even sort of address that over the years, you've spent all your R&D in dumb shit. Like, no one cares about robot tuners. No one gives a shit about putting USB and Firewire ports on your fucking guitars. No one wants that. No one asked for that, and you kept doing it. So honestly, you shot yourself in the foot. And then rather than fix your Gibsons, you were pumping artist money into Epiphone to keep you afloat. You were signing endorsement deals, and you were pumping out artist series guitars and Epiphone. And you were you were competing against yourself and it hurt you. And then you had to file bankruptcy and fire the guy who was making all these terrible decisions. So you fixed it. You got a new guy, J.C. Curley, who's turned a bunch of companies around, but he's also just so happens to be a guitarist. He knows what he likes. Most of the time, we all kind of like the same shit, generally. So, from a business standpoint, he added inspectors at every stage of the line process. Gibson didn't have that. They were literally putting one inspector at the end of the entire process. Now you got, routing inspection, hardware inspection, fit and finish inspection. You would think it'd be common sense they would do that, but they weren't. But now they are. Great. The finish, the feel, everything of that traditional is better than any traditional that I've personally played ever since the model came out. They've been doing them since 2015, 14? Whatever, I think whenever Les Paul died, they might have started. That was what it was. It was a tribute to him after his death, I think, and it's just stuck. So anyways, they were good. Like the first tribute models, they were better than the studio fadeds, for sure, and they were way more bang for your buck. But they had their issues. They were QC problems. I don't see that on that. So for the Gibson point of view, you nailed it. Also, another great thing they're doing, modern and classic. You want more modern, like the weight relief that's in that thing, because that thing feels that same weight as my Jazzmaster. They got that. Nailed that. Getting rid of the 498 in these models. Thank God. No one wanted a pickup. I didn't want a JB in a tribute model. Like, it's not what I needed. That's what the 498 is. So sticking dual 490s, perfect. Sounds great. Screams beautiful. Yeah. So, everything he's doing, he's trending in the right direction. And I honestly I can't, off the top of my dome, think of better decisions that he can make as the Gibson CEO. Keep doing it. At this point, I'm excited to see where Gibson goes, and I even want to buy a standard at some point. Not anytime soon, but at some point in my life, I'll own an LP standard. So, and I should mention, that thing, there's the leather case in the background here. Man, I'm not getting up again because I don't feel like doing that. That is a beautiful soft leather. They call it a bag. It's a case. It's a case. Soft leather case. And man, it adds value to that for sure. Because that would cost you at least $150, most likely $200. Maybe not $200. Well, it's Gibson, maybe. So the fact that $1,149, you get that with it, you're really only paying $1,000 for the guitar if you really want to truly think about it. And it's a steal. Now we're going to go over to Epiphone, right? So, Epiphone, like I mentioned, they were doing good with the Artist Series. They did good improving their pickups, like I think 2011 or 2012 when they came out with the Pro lines of pickups. But, again, they were doing dumb things, like the Ultra 3. That guitar, it's so obsolete now. It's like a relic, and it's not even 7, 8 years old. Like, you put a guitar with USB ports and Firewire and all this shit on it, and like a year or two later, affordable desktop user, like audio interfaces came out. Completely made the whole fucking guitar pointless. Because it was like a $700 Epiphone with all this electronic shit built into it, and then not even a year later, you could get a PreSonus audio box for $100. And completely made it completely pointless. Totally pointless. Useless in every way. They were cool guitars. I think that might have been the debut of the Pros. I think they had the Pro Buckers on that thing. And they did sound good. They actually, a lot of people when they first came out were pissed because the Pro Buckers were sounding better than the Burst Buckers they were putting on some of the Gibsons. That's what I heard. Don't shoot the messenger. Anyways, Epiphone has now also relaunched. So now, just like Gibson, you got two. But this is where I think they're still backwards thinking in the company. So you have the Inspired by Gibson line, and you have the or Epiphone original line. And I'm not going to go to the website and spend time seeing what are in, because half the time you can tell by the guitar itself, B, the model. But the inspired by Gibson line, they have this, and there's the Muse series, and the modern, the standard 50s, standard 60s. The thing about it is, okay, are they better? Absolutely. From a spec perspective, like this thing, I will say this, for $449, this, if you're a new guitar player, or if you're coming off a Squire, or even a cheaper Epiphone, and you want a big upgrade, this is a big upgrade. This is a fantastic guitar for $449. It feels amazing. I mean, what I wanted Scott Gorham on a budget, and that's what this is. Scott Gorham, Cherry Burst, Alnico 2 pickups. This is it. And as you can tell with me playing the Lizzie riffs, it sounds like Gorham. It does the job. Plug it into a Marshall, crank it up, Scott Gorham all day long. Feels great. It does it. But where they're messing up is, okay, I'm going to sidetrack. Why Fender has been killing it in a massive way isn't just their price points. In fact, Fender has gone up on prices. Believe it or not. What they did is they made a genius tiered marketing system. And I mean, let's be real. Everything we have in our life is a tiered market. Your cell phones. You got your Androids. You got your high-end Androids. You got your iPhones. You got low-end iPhones. High-end, like, everything's tiered. Hondas, and then do they make what? Infiniti or Acura? One of the two. One's consumer level, the other one's going a little bit higher end. It's a tiered market system. And Fender took that thought and they just ran with it, right? So you've got your Squires and your Fenders. You've got your classic vibes, your paranormals, and your contemporaries. Those are in the higher end. On the lower end, you got your affinities. That's it. Now, where Fender is smart, where their genius is every guitar that you buy in every line. Now, I forgot to go to the Fender side. You got your players, which is your Mexicans. You've got some specialties in there with different names, and those are all made in Mexico, and most artist series are also made in Mexico, believe it or not. Then you've got your American Performer, and now I think they didn't even make any new ones in 2020 of the Performers, but American Performer, American Ultra, American Performer, American Pro, American Ultra, American Elite. Yeah, I mean, but here's where they get it and Gibson doesn't. Even on the Gibson side, and now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I buy in a Player Series Mexican Jazzmaster. I have one behind me here on the wall. They retail for $779. You buy that Player Series Jazzmaster, it has humbuckers in it that are coil tappable. Those humbuckers, and I can attest to this. I'm in a room now with Gibsons and Epiphones, and even Fender itself. I have a Squire with Atomics in it that are noted for being great humbuckers. The Player Series Alnico 2 bass humbuckers are basically Fender's take on a Pearly Gates, and they're the top 3 best humbuckers I've ever heard in any guitar. Period. I'm sorry, they are. The Fender Standard humbucker is it's just amazing. It sounds so good. It sounds better than my 490 R&T. It just does. So, yeah. It's just a fantastic sounding guitar. Now, the necks and the fretwork on that thing, some of that left a lot to be desired. The fingerboard was dry, the frets were popping. There was work that needed to be done with it for $779. That was annoying. But the point is, when you buy that, Fender doesn't offer those pickups in anything but the Player Series. So even if I go and buy an American Ultra, at some point, I'm going to want that guitar because I know it sounds good, and if I have the income to afford a $1,300 guitar, I can afford the $1,400 or the $800 guitar. Genius marketing, tiered system. And if you have the $800 guitar, you clearly are just going to want to work your way up to that at some point. Maybe not. Who knows? Or years you're playing gigs, 4 or 5 years, and one day your wife saved up. She got you a American Ultra Pro. Awesome. Tiered system is genius. So Gibson fucks up because they don't do that. Like, you buy the Tribute, it has a 490 R&T. But if you buy any other, the Studio also has the 490 R&T. The only thing you're paying $300 for is a fucking glossier finish. That's stupid. That's stupid. Give me some more. I think they do the coil tapping on the Studios too. No, meh. That's all I can say to that. With this, it's the same thing. So, okay, I buy the classic Warren, $449 Alnico 2 Pros. I buy the Muse Alnico 2 Pros. It's $50 more. Now, the Muse, though, as I just used it in negative connotations, it's not a negative. The Muse is where they need to go. Even though it says inspired by Gibson, they don't make a Gibson Muse. So all those colors, the belly cut on it, the thinner overall profile, like it's just thinner. That is genius. Do that, but also make a Epiphone specific. No, I guess they do, but just put those pickups in that guitar. That guitar has its pickups. I don't need that pickup in 5 other fucking models that you might even pay for. Charge me $200 more. That's the problem. It's like you're still kind of you're lost on where you should put things, you know. So Gibson is going in the right direction, but I do think they just need to go in the tiered system. Go in the tiered system. Even Reverend does the tiered system. Set necks are a little cheaper, or the bolt-ons are a little bit cheaper than the sets. Most of those have the Reverend non-rails. Everything else has rails on it. It's tiered. You go to the artist, those have artist-specific rails. It works. PRS does it. PRS fucking does it. They definitely are successful. Like, come on, guys. Even Ibanez started doing it. They brought back the flying fingers for certain of their hardcore guitars. Like, come on, man. So, the real final thought. Both of these are amazing guitar. And I know this is kind of a thought that's really hit it. But it just comes down to that. It's just like buying a Honda versus buying a Toyota, or buying a Toyota versus buying a Lexus. What do you feel like you need? I drive a Chevy Cruze. I don't need an Impala. I don't need a Camaro. The Cruze does it. And honestly, if I did not own that Tribute, I would be proud of this guitar, because god damn it, it is a very good, very well made, great feeling LP. Now, Tone Shop probably worked on this. I have heard they do have fret issues, but mine kills it. That being said, though, there's a certain tradition and nuance, like, it's just, okay, if you've owned one thing, if you go to Walmart and buy you a $99 fire grill or grill or whatever the fuck they're selling, you come and you cook steaks, it's on an uneven surface, but you have it for years, and you cook your family dinner on it every day, and one day you get a good job. You know what, damn it, I'm gonna buy me a Weber Spirit. You go buy that $400 fucking Weber Spirit grill, even cooking surface, high BTU propane cooking. And it's just a whole different level of craftsmanship. And that's what that is. Now, is it a $700 difference? That's up to you. I can't tell you if it's worth $700. All I can tell you is, I will say, go out and play one of these, because these blew my mind. Because when I came home with this and plugged it in, I was shocked. I didn't think it would be that close to my Gibson, but it is. Granted, I think you can hear there is a certain level of dynamics, more roundedness and openness that you get from the Gibson. And I don't think it's just the pickups. I think the nitro has a lot to do with that. I think the real maple, the real nice choice, it's choice woods. Yes, this is mahogany and maple cap. Yeah, This is a Indian Laurel fretboard, but you feel all that on that one, and you feel the quality increase, just like you sitting in a Honda Civic and you sit in an Acura, and you know the difference immediately. And there you go. It's just that. So, they're both worth the money. The QC issue was Gibson's biggest nail in their coffin, and I think they fixed that. Now, I think they do need to work on the QC on these Epiphones from what I've heard. And I do think they need to focus on making more original Epiphone-specific lines. And for the love of God, stop putting the same fucking pickups in 8 different guitars that you price $1,000 apart. Stop doing that. If you do those things, I think we'll see Gibson for another 20, at least 20, maybe most likely 10, hopefully, years. And yeah. All right, I'm done. This is going on 40 minutes. I'm out.